Hello and welcome to Inside Leisure World. Today I have some wonderful guests. By the way, I am Bonnie Z. Cooper. My wonderful guests are Taylor White, President of the Theater Club, and Sally, Vice President of the Theater Club. Ladies, welcome.
Thank you. You did it again, you know.
Me?
This was
It
not
was
on
you
the
talked me
calendar.
into
You
this.
did not put this on the
Absolutely.
Ladies,
calendar.
we're
Come on
live.
now. I told
I
you
said,
all the time.
Ladies, well, hello.
Hi.
Oh, hi.
Taylor White, President of the Theater Club.
Sally Glosser, Vice President of the Theater Club.
And if you believe that little fight of ours, we're doing our job. Thank you, Bonnie, so much for having us.
yes, thank
You're
you, Bonnie.
very welcome. So, Theater Club, tell me what it's about.
Well, the Theater Club is one of the oldest entertainment venues in Leisure World. It is run for anyone who lives in Leisure World, a resident there. The thing about the Theater Club is it's remained constant over the years. It's had the same bylaws, the same meeting place, and basically the same format, entertainment for all. And everyone is welcome at the Theater Club, whether you're a singer, a dancer,
or someone who just enjoys theater and wants to be an enthusiastic part of the audience.
Yeah. And one of the great things about the Theater Club is our membership has been consistent. We have members who have been there for 15 years.
Wow.
And they are still performing, which is absolutely great. It's a wonderful situation.
We have people like the Frambaughs, Ann and Bill Frambaugh, and Chuck and Diane Burnett, and of course our wonderful pianist Carol Robinson.
Yay. Yay.
But the other part that I find very stimulating is that we have new members who basically come in and want to do their thing, and so we balance the two. People like Tosca Lees and Charlie and Carol Gugino, who basically moved into to Leisure World and joined the Theater Club.
I think they're there only 2 months, 3 months.
And they're well, Carol is not truly a performer. She's a behind-the-scenes helper. And we have Bill Holden, who has come aboard, and he's learning the video side of it. And we desperately need people like that as well.
Oh,
I think you have Irene Strobel.
Yes.
And Irene was the mayor, I believe, of Avalon
Yeah.
at one time.
Yes.
Yes.
So you've got some very powerful people in there.
Well, the thing is, what we do is we find people who come on board and they say, I can't do anything. I've never performed before. I can't sing, I can't dance, I can't act. Oh, actors are very important.
Yes.
Yes, Sally's a singer. I'm an actor. But anyway, we love those people because what we do is they get to know the group, and before you know it, they're in a show. I like to do a lot of group numbers. So all those people who can't sing get together and they form a wonderful, wonderful chorus. In fact, that's where Irene's going to be in just a few months.
Oh, yes,
Yes,
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think this is her first show.
Yes, and she's going to be terrific. She's going to be dressed up as a cowgirl.
Oh my goodness gracious. So you two seem to get along very well, other than a couple of little spats here and there.
Well, we do. I think the thing is there are certain people who really love the theater, and it's part of our lives now. Everybody who's in the club does not love theater. Now, that's not a negative. It's just that they come along because it's different or it's fun. But then there are those of us who have always loved theater, and things like somebody says something, and before you know it, we're singing the first line of a Broadway show tune because that's the way we were brought up. So that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's very exciting. And tell me about some of the programs that you're going to have in the future.
oh, would you like to know our theatrical programs, or because we're also very civic minded?
Absolutely. Tell me about the Civic.
Okay, we'll do. Want to do civic first?
Sure.
Sure. The first thing that's I have to backtrack. The Theater Club has, in a way, adopted the American Legion from Leisure World. I say adopted. That's a very broad term, but it means we really care about them, and we'd like to do little things for those women and men who have served. So the first thing we're doing is February 18th, which is right after Valentine's Day. We've invited 8 men from the Blind Veterans Unit of the local VA hospital, and they are coming down for a potluck supper which we have called We Love Our Veterans. And then they're going to stay on for a show and might even have a little bit of dancing. So we're not, you know, that would be fun. And then after that,
What's after that?
Well, what we are going to do a show in April. April the 9th is our country western show, and this year we have a new name for it. It's kind of going to be called A Picnic on the Ranch.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
And it will be a very fun evening for everyone. It starts with dinner and a show, and then 2 hours of dancing to Abilene, which is one of the best groups, in my opinion, in Leisure World. So
I'm sure we're going to have to get our tickets early for that.
Yes.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And believe me, we'll be asking the American Legion again if they'd like to be some of our special guests that night and come along and have a few songs.
And I
things
think
with them.
we're changing things up a little bit this year,
Yes.
Taylor. I mean, there are some acts that have always been acts, and they're going to do their thing, and then we're going to do some different things. So I think people will be pleasantly surprised at some of the good things that we're going to be doing.
Well, I can say they're going to be surprised. That's the other thing why Sally and I get along. We can be pretty far out sometimes when we say, shall we try this? And we look at each other and go, yeah, let's do it. So the other thing you have to note about the cowboy or the country show is that years ago it really was a rootin' tootin' cowboy show. And over the years, I think partially because of the way we feel about violence in this country, we've sort of turned it into a, like you said, picnic at the ranch. It's more a country show now, and the songs are more diverse. They're not all old cowboy songs.
Can you give me one little song, a name, perhaps?
Oh,
I'm
hey,
put-
good
I'm-
looking.
Hey,
good looking.
All right. I mean,
That's-
I'm putting you on the
Yeah.
spot, but
Well, we're also having the Everly Sisters.
oh my.
Who have lost their love or something.
Yeah, right. So we're going to do a little bit of the older stuff, a little bit of the newer stuff, and some real good surprises.
Yeah, well, and Charlie.
Can I ask you about one of the surprises? It's something about ladies.
Yeah, that we could, no, well, that's not the big surprise. The Hey Good Looking group, every year we have off-key sister singers or off-key sister cousins. And this year, the off-key sister cousins is a much larger group. And in fact, excuse me, Irene, but that's the group that you're in. The ladies are going to sing Hey Good Looking, What You Got Cooking. And I want to tell you it will be audience interactive. So if you are a gentleman whose hairline has gone a little high, you better be ready to be kissed this year.
Oh boy.
Smackaroos right on the head.
Security, security.
And we have people too, like our friend Tilly. She asks to hug every guy she meets. And a few of the gentlemen know, they go, oh, you're the lady who hugs everybody. So she'll be in that number too, so she can give out hugs. But we have got a special surprise this year.
What else do you have going on?
Oh, in that show?
Well, just in all your shows. I'm
Oh,
excited.
Oh,
Well, what's
let me
going on
see.
with you
Well,
two?
after the April the 9th show, we will be in the Memorial Day show, which is again the veterans. We were at the Veterans Day show. We'll again be presenting in the Memorial Day show, and at the Veterans Day show, they honored veterans from World War I, World War II, and Korea.
Yes.
And the Memorial Day show is we're going to do Desert Storm, which there may not be that many people from Leisure World who were in Desert Storm because it's a little after their time. But we also want to pay particular attention to the Vietnam vets. And we feel that there probably are a lot of Vietnam vets in Leisure World, and we want to particularly pay attention to them and do something with yellow
you tell me-
ribbons.
Oh, yeah.
What are we going to do, girls? Give me,
Okay,
a little-
I call-
give me
well-
a scoop.
I called Commander Jim over yesterday and asked his permission if we could share some of what was going to go on at Memorial Day. Because when we met, I believe it was last September, October, and talked about the vets. Oh, and by the way, not that there would be anybody in Leisure World, but we also will honor the gentlemen and gentlewomen of the service from our current conflict. They're always in our hearts. But going back to the Vietnam vets, we all knew that when they came home, the Vietnam vets were not always welcomed the way they should be. And being of that era myself, I suggested that we perhaps have a yellow ribbon day, because back then, I know the Tony Orlando and Dawn song was originally about a man who was in prison, but the Vietnam War rather adopted the yellow ribbons. And what we're going to do is we're going to have a yellow ribbon day in Leisure World. And we're going to ask people to put yellow ribbons on their houses, and we're going to try to get special posts made with yellow ribbons and American flags. And we'd love to line the streets, you know, with that. And like I said, Jim Hoover, who is the commander, and Lee Esslinger, who is the vice commander, are both now very much in favor of it. And I really think it would be a wonderful symbol of our togetherness in Leisure World, and especially supporting the Vietnam vets who never really got the credit they deserved. So we let you in on a secret, and this is a pre-secret, so everybody better start saving.
They better start saving
their
the
yellow
dates.
ribbons.
Now, if anyone at home has a lot of yellow ribbon, you'd like to donate them,
No.
please, we'd love it,
Yes.
to the theater club.
Absolutely.
That not said in jest. We
Correct.
have quite a group that will sit, and I can guarantee you, if somebody gets us yellow ribbon and posts, we'll get together and
Well,
we'll do great things.
one of the things we did this year was for Christmas we decorated a Victorian Christmas tree in Clubhouse 3, and we sat and made ornaments that were Taylor and some other people did some
Sally.
work on the internet, and then we made ornaments, and then we went over and decorated the tree in Victorian fashion. So, and of course we had electric candles. We couldn't have real candles because this is Leisure World, and it's also but I think that's the kind of thing that people love to do, and you don't have to sing or dance. All you have to do is be able to cut out some.
It's all about friendship.
Yeah,
Yes, it is,
exactly.
really.
It really is. And mentioning the Christmas time, we were elves. On 2 occasions. Both Taylor and I were elves that put on our elf costumes and our elf hats on 2 occasions.
With Shirlene and Tosca.
And Joseph Chavez
and Peggy Earhart.
And Peggy Earhart. And we served cocoa and cookies at the Christmas tree lighting ceremony in Leisure World in front of the administrative building, and then we went to the Toys for Tots show and served cookies and cocoa there too. Again, as
Unbelievable.
elves.
And now I understand you adopted a family. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Oh, that was wonderful. I hope I don't get verklempt about this. What they do, and lots of people in Leisure World adopt families. Don't want to give the impression that we're the only one. But we got a family, and it was 2 boys and a girl, and mom and dad.
And I went shopping with you.
Yes, we did.
Did we get deals?
Yeah. Were you with me the day?
Yes, I was with you the day we got the deals over at the store.
The store. And let me tell you how things like that work when I think you have, well, I shouldn't say a pure heart, but Bonnie did help me that day, and we, you know, as they say, it's better to give than to receive. And we were in a store, and we met a lady who had 2 little boys and a girl, and one of the items on the list was a skateboard. And sure enough, this woman we're digging in the clearance rack type thing, and this woman all of a sudden goes, "Wait a minute, look at this." And she held up a pale blue skateboard, just the right size. The little boy was going to be 8 years old. Just the right size for him. And she said, "My son's 8." And she said, "Would you like this?" And he said, "Oh, yeah, that's sort of cool." And then we needed a monster truck. The other little boy was just the right age for the monster truck. And we got a tea set as well. And the little girl said, "Oh, I like that one with the ladybugs." Those things are wonderful when you're a community and helping to serve others. And like I said, I forgot, you and I were out the whole day. Where were you? Where were you?
We started to go out.
Oh, you may.
I think we were going to go out for like 15 minutes, and it was like 6 hours later.
It was a lot of fun.
With a whole car full of things.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and another thing we did at Christmas time was donate to Interval House, make a donation to Interval House, which is a shelter for abused women and their kids. And and it was a substantial donation that the theater club gave out of their
very
funds.
substantial.
And I think that is truly what all of this is about, and what the holiday season is about too.
So if someone is interested, at the end we will have some information. We'll talk about information, how they can contact you.
Right.
But Taylor and Sally, just quickly, maybe a minute's worth, tell me what it means to you to live in this community.
Oh, in Leisure World?
In this community at this time in your life.
Well, I've been here about 8 years, and oddly enough, in America, that means I've seen the economy come and go and come and go. And I'm one of those people who realize how lucky I am. That, there's no other place I could live the way I live in Leisure World. And I'm so fortunate because I have family only 4 miles away, including my granddaughter. And it's a rather very good situation for me. I only discovered the theater club a few years ago when I was 69, and that's been a great joy for me as well.
You look 22. And Sally, what about you? The reason I'm asking this, there are so many people that are watching this video, and they're thinking, oh, I don't want to live among old people.
Yes, that's
it. That kind of thing. Well, most likely, they're sitting at home in a 5-bedroom house, and they're lonely, and really nobody visits them. How could you encourage them to come out and play?
Well, I've been here 3 years. I was rent poor in Torrance. And when I first moved in, I was still working in Redondo Beach. I was commuting. And then I got laid off, which I thought was going to be the end of the world. And it turned out to be such a great thing because then I had more time to do more things and figured out that I could probably get early Social Security and enjoy myself in life. But I didn't, when I first was here, I wasn't in a part of anything. And then I found out what a rich, full life people were having. Before I moved in, I heard people call it Seizure World and God's Waiting Room. And my experience is that that's the last thing that it is. It's full of active, healthy, vital people, no matter what your age. I mean, Bill Framba's 92. I mean, Anne Framba's 8. I mean, these
and
people
everybody
are,
mingles, gets along.
Yes, and there's so much to do. Yes, you can sit in your house all day long
if you want to.
If you want to. But if you want to get involved, and it's not expensive. I mean, in terms of, I never believed that I could live so close to the beach with the amount of money that it takes to move into Leisure World.
I have another question for you. Karaoke.
She'll answer that one.
Yes, you're the karaoke queen.
I love karaoke.
Now, were you kind of shy growing up? Because you're not now.
No, I'm not. I'm not. Well, I did. Okay, my first experience of theater was the Arcadia Children's Theater when I was in 3rd grade, and I was the March Hare in Alice in Wonderland. And after that, I kind of went away from that and did other things in my career. And now I found that, and I would sing in choir and stuff like that. So, yes, I wasn't too. I was outgoing, but I wasn't really shy. But I never did performing like I'm doing now. And all of a sudden, I've discovered a whole new career, which I absolutely love.
I know that when we go to Abilene, which is one of the most fabulous dances that we have once a month. I think it's the 4th Saturday of the month.
Yes,
the 4th Saturday of the month. Yeah. Fabulous. And usually Terry Ott plays a song. And it's kind of for you. Long, tall Sally.
You got it. You got it.
And everybody stands around and starts applauding for you.
So, I never imagined that I would have such a rich, full life in this community. But a lot of it's because the people are so fabulous.
Well, I want to put a challenge out to the people that see this.
You should.
And the challenge is, when you see Taylor, you see Sally, you see me, please say hello. Tell us that you saw us on TV. It's not an ego thing. It really isn't. But we want to know that we've touched your hearts, because it's really very important for us to be a family.
Oh,
because
absolutely.
A lot of us have
right.
families, but they're not here. Taylor, I have something that you might or might not want to answer.
Okay, let's see.
This has been a crazy year for you. This is 2016. 2015 was absolutely crazy. We have a few minutes. So I get a phone call from you, and it says I have.
Breast cancer. 71
Okay.
years old.
Tell me about it.
Okay. I went for my routine mammogram, which I've said it on another video that you and I have created, but my mammogram mantra: ladies, nobody likes mammograms. Go get it anyway. My routine mammogram saved my life, and my wish is that someday your mammogram will save yours. One of the ways to beat cancer is your mammogram, because I was early detection. I'm only, stage 2, which is very beatable, and I'm so lucky. And that's another cause that I have picked up this year. Oh, and by the way, Sally is my advocate.
Right, I
Another
was gonna say.
friendship thing. Tell them how
Sally-
you work with the cancer group.
Well,
Let me interrupt for one second.
yeah.
The video that Taylor and I have done with Sally, it will be, or it is on YouTube. And once you contact the ladies, they'll give you the YouTube address.
Yes.
And it's fabulous. It's so much wonderful information. So, Sally, share some of that.
Well, what I did in the real world, I was, for 21 years, I was the front office manager for a group of medical oncologists in Redondo Beach. So I know a fair amount about cancer and cancer treatment. And when Taylor called me and told me what was going on with her, you know, I was able to give her some information that made her feel better about the whole
very much.
situation. And I think the problem is fear. I think when a person hears from their doctor that they have cancer, you know, the fear kicks in. And for a lot of women with breast cancer, men with prostate cancer, a lot of types of cancer are very treatable and very curable. And knowledge is power. And I know that's a cliche. Fear is detrimental. It's not going to help you. But learn as much. My mantra is learn as much as you possibly can. Be very well informed. And in this day and age, I mean, a lot of cancers are easy, not easy, but they're curable, they're treatable, they're curable, as is Taylor's cancer. So it's not a fun thing to go through, and nobody pretends that you're going to enjoy it. But the thing that Taylor has kept up is kept the humor in it, the positive attitude. That's so important, so important.
Yeah, and I want to tell you, in regard to the cancer, when I told the gang at the theater club, 8 women were breast cancer survivors. We actually had our picture taken with our pink hats and pink scarves, and we now support each other, and we've talked about it. And I think the thing is that having a support group like the theater club is so important. Now, of course, my family is number one. Always has
What
been.
happened when you told your daughter?
Well, this was a wonderful experience, really, because I had already been with Sally for quite a few sessions, shall we say. So I went over to my daughter's house, and my son-in-law was sitting there, and I said, sit. And they gave me the look. And I said, I have something to tell you. And they go, okay, what? And I said, I have cancer. And my daughter went, no, you don't. I mean, it was immediate denial. And I realized she wasn't being negative. It was like, and then she said, Mommy, you don't have cancer. And I said, yes, I do. But I sat very quietly and talked to them in a quiet tone. I had a lot of knowledge. I told them what was going on. And about 2 days later, my daughter said to me, you know, when you told us you had cancer, the atmosphere at the home was so good and so positive that I didn't have the fear that I thought I would. And one thing about cancer, I have not had any fear. I've had a few bumps in the road because there's so much going on, but I've never had fear. I've never had a pity party. I'm sorry, I just can't do that. And I have a whole new genre of cancer humor, which I can't share with you today because it's breast cancer. But believe me, we've had a couple of good laughs over it. Yeah.
So again, anyone out there, reach out to Taylor.
Yep.
If you have a
Love to
story
talk
for
to you.
her, she'd love to hear it. Perhaps you, Sally, someone else.
Sally is a wealth of knowledge.
I'm more than happy to help anyone who needs to talk about these things or needs to know what the resources are that are available. The internet is a vast array of, and there's some really good websites on the internet. I caution people to say there's some that are very bad, and they have
we'll let them kind of figure that out.
Right.
Also, I know being in the theater club, because we're going back to that again.
Okay.
It has helped you. It has helped you. You get up every morning. You do what you have to do medically.
Yes.
And
every
then you
day.
have appointments. You have people that are coming in and practicing. You're juggling this. You're juggling that. And I know that it's making you much more healthy.
Yes.
Because you have a place to be. And I'm so excited about this coming year.
Yes, we are too. I think
Oh,
it's
yeah.
going to be a
Well, before we go much further, I want to mention our big Labor Day show.
Oh, tell me about
Which
that one.
we did last
That
year
was
on Labor
wonderful.
Day. It's a variety show. We had 250
people.
At the very end. The custodians were setting up more and more tables
remember that.
because we had an overflow crowd. But it's a little bit of this, a little bit of that. We're already writing the show, and I'll let Taylor
Are we allowed
tell
to
you.
give that away?
Yeah,
You want-
should
can
we
we
give it-
Sure, you got about 2 minutes.
share the surprise.
Right.
This year, Labor Day, put the date aside, it's going to be Leisure World, the musical.
I could just imagine.
Oh, please imagine. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I know it's 8 months away, but we've already, I steal a lot of things, as you know. Everybody says, oh, you're so creative. I'm like, yeah, right? I've got a notebook. I write that. Oh, one last thing before we go. Please support every theater or theatrical venue at Leisure World.
Yes.
That's another thing the theater club does. We make a point of going to Steve Nichols, Tommy Williams. I mean, there's so many out there, and we try to go as many as we can. And last time we had 3 tables pushed together. So guess what? When there's 3 tables, you don't know us, come over anyway.
Absolutely.
Sit down.
Join us.
Sit down.
We went over to a couple of people, and they turned us down. We don't care. We don't care.
The other performer that we have who's relatively new to the club is Ben Berg. And
Oh,
Ben Berg
for
and
the
Vicki
theater club,
Bannert and the Rhythm Rockers for the theater club, they're doing
a lot of fun
They're
stuff.
doing a lot
He
of
likes,
stuff with
of
us
course,
now.
he likes playing, but he also likes the attachment to the veterans. I
Wait,
think
just
everybody
for 1
does.
minute. Is there something really special you want to leave with our population?
Well, yes. I got elected president of the theater club. I think, yes, I was 69 years old. So it's never too late for something new and something interesting. I just dabbled in theater. I mean, dabbled. And all of a sudden, like you said, it's my day. Apart from my family, my theater club and its members are the most important people in my life. And I really thank God and appreciate them all.
Sally, we've got 30 seconds.
Well, I'm right back at you, Taylor, because as I say, not only have I participated in productions, which I just thoroughly enjoy, I've made so many new friends.
Yay.
I think I have more friends now than I did when I was working and out in the
Ladies, we're
real
sisters
world.
from another.
Yes.
And just to let everyone know, we are going on a cruise.
Oh, yes.
There's 21 of us, so I feel sorry for the people on the cruise.
Are you kidding? We'd probably get up and do a couple of acts.
Right.
I could sing. I'll sing.